That's as good as a recording as we could get. She sounded 100 times better in real life. Good evening everyone, and a very warm welcome to our young participants, their families, and of course the Asawari community. That song was one of Asawari's favorites, and this particular rendition is one of our favorite memories of her voice. As Deepa put it yesterday very nicely, it was meant to represent the glad and not the sad. And it's precisely this sentiment that sets the backdrop for this third Asawari Memorial Outperformers event. To begin with, we decided to drop the audiovisual this year. We wanted to leave the sad out and bring in the glad. But for the benefit of those of you who might be new to the Asawari Music Foundation, particularly some of the new participants and their families, it might be worthwhile to put in a short recollection. For those of you who are familiar with what I'm going to say for the first few minutes, bear with me. But it's not a bad thing to, just remind ourselves once a year about what this is about. This trust was set up in memory of Asawari Miriam Jacob, the only child of my friends Deepa and Joy. We lost her to a very rare and aggressive form of leukemia when she was just 15 after a very protracted battle with the disease. But I will tell you this in all seriousness, the manner in which the three of them fought this lethal opponent was an outperformance all on its own. In the end, the disease won that particular fight for her body, but it couldn't vanquish her spirit. The spirit is alive and well, firmly entrenched for good in the music foundation that is now named after her. In October 2012, the day after Asawari gave us her last farewell, three of us were sitting around and chatting in Kunur, and we were reasonably clear that we should establish something lasting in her memory. The question was what? And the obvious answer, the obvious option that popped up was to have some of leukemia support for the community that required it. But then we thought, should it be something beyond treating a disease? And after examining the many choices in front of us, we decided that we would indeed want to preserve the most beautiful memory that she left to us, which was actually her music. Music was Asawari's enduring passion. From the age of 5, she was happy to stand up and sing. Anytime, anywhere, night or day. She wasn't retiring or she wasn't shy about it. This was her celebration of life. But what defined Asawari above everything else was her absolute unwillingness to succumb to anything. She fought valiantly even against this deadly monster, her nemesis, to carry on singing at any cost. Her public performance at Tübingen, where she was being treated in Germany, went viral on YouTube, garnering over 500,000 hits. And thus was born the idea of the Outperformers, dedicated to young musicians who outperform themselves. Originally, if you were at grade 4 but able to deliver at grade 6, you qualified. I agree it's a very stringent filter, leaving out many gifted young people on the way. But Asawari would have wanted no less. Nisa will tell you the details, but in short, the intent behind the foundation is to recognize and encourage young musical talent who punch above their weight. This year we are delighted to have finalists from Delhi, Chennai, Kunur and Bangalore. Is that accurate? Okay. However, I must tell you with great joy that for the first time in 3 years, we have representation from Calcutta in the person of our scholarship winner for 2015. Am I allowed to name her? Paloma, right? Palomi. Okay. Many congratulations. But it's of special significance to Asawari's family and friends, because this is the city that gave many of us our early exposure to and then our enduring love of music. To music then for a minute. Last year at the same time, I think you would remember, we explored why any education is so incomplete without some form of music. But my experience with a family of musical talent and the exception tells me it is more than just an education. Indeed, music has the 4 essential ingredients that I have observed in very successful people at very close quarters. Firstly, it teaches you to listen very well. If you're a poor listener, stands to reason you can't do any music of any kind at any level. The most successful people I know are also some of the most exceptional listeners I have met. There are at least 2 of them in this audience. I will stop short of embarrassing them by name. Music then teaches you to be disciplined. Even the most intuitive musicians I have met are not lazy people. I have a young boy at home who plays and teaches the trombone. You have to pull him out of bed kicking and screaming to get to college in time for his first period of college. But he's up at 5 without provocation if there is early morning practice. Have you ever run into a role model or someone you admire who wasn't completely and totally disciplined? Think about it. Thirdly, it teaches you to collaborate. Even if you're a soloist, you still need to work with accompaniment. Today, the best organizations in the world are moving from the idea of competition to collaboration. And I will tell the men in this audience a little secret. The women in our lives have always practiced this. Finally, it teaches us the critical art of performance. You must check this out. In the US, there is an interesting institution named the School of Rock. Started in 2002 by a music teacher named Paul Green in Philadelphia. His early experiments in teaching music taught him that students who performed progressed much faster than those who were taught individually. So he had this group of people when he really started in 1996, and he found that those whom he taught individually progressed much slower, and those who went for some kind of performance, they tended to sort of progress much faster. And so was born the idea of a school that was built on performance to start with. And all of us know if you're preparing for a performance, the discipline, the listening, the collaboration will come behind it. And it's very interesting. They have this line, their strap line is moving the lesson from the classroom to the stage. How many wallflowers do you know who made it in life? Performance is a science as much as an art. And it is an essential ingredient in anything you choose to do. Think of teachers, sportsmen, business executives. Even the most successful R&D professionals have a knack of theatrical flair for presenting crazy new ideas. As such, I am no longer persuaded that the Asabri Foundation will merely recognize the most outstanding musicians in the future, but will identify the young folk that are best prepared for a good shot at life itself. On that particular note, I would like to, with the greatest of pleasure, inform you that our very first scholar from the 2013 edition of Our Performers, Jazal Peters, an exceptionally talented young violinist from Bengaluru, has been selected to study music at the Trinity College in London on a full scholarship. Jazz and his brilliant sister Joy were joint winners of our first scholarship prize. Since Jazz is away in England, it is my great privilege to ask the charming young Joy to do a recital for us to get this show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again for being here, and have a wonderful evening with some great music. Could you please put your hands together for young Joy? Where are you?
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to play the prelude from Bach's E major partita.